Here we go. Welcome to webinar number 2. And we are doing the MetaPWR class made easy. And this is going to be really, really good. And I'm going to challenge you, wait till the end. Like if you wait till the end of the webinar, I have something super, super cool to be able to show you, and something super cool. I know it will bless your business. I know it will. So just so I know what I'm dealing with, I would like to know what your current rank is in doTERRA. Okay, just kind of put it in the chat, please, so I can kind of know. It's really important as a teacher that you kind of know who and what you're dealing with, right? So I'm looking. Okay, so lots I see: elite, silver, gold, premiers, some silvers, executives. Okay, all right. So we're kind of right at that tipping point. And I want to be able to just teach you guys some things tonight. And I'm going to share with you guys tonight, just to start, I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my story. Okay. I hope you guys don't mind, because some of you guys, how many of you guys be like, I don't really know, you don't really know me. And that's totally fine. I'm going to tell you my story. It goes like this. It was the day that changed my whole life. And this day looked like this. My wife, Chelsea, started doing doTERRA just like many of you. And she was given it by a friend, and it was to help her with her mental health. It was really taking a dive. My wife and I have 7 children, 6 boys and 1 girl. So you can imagine mental health is a big issue. And we have this moment where a friend of ours brought over a bottle of Serenity, and Chelsea just took it and ran with it. She loved it. It helped her so much. And for me, I was thinking, this is the most amazing stuff. If it helps her, I don't care what it is. And now I was not raised in this way. So essential oils were totally new to me. And when that happened, and Chelsea had that happen, she started sharing with everyone that would listen to her. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And she started sharing everything. Now, she started giving full bottles of everything out the door. There was no sample bottles at the time. And so when when the full bottle of frankincense went out the door, I was like, whoa, we got to do something. And so I asked her, I said, honey, I think there's a little business that you could do. And she was like, I'm not interested. I don't want to do it. And I was like, I think you'd be really good at it. What if I do the business behind you? I'll do all the business stuff. I'll know all that stuff. And you can just do what you do. And she said, that would be great. So fast forward 3 months, and we had hit silver. And we didn't know what that meant. We didn't know if that was good. All we knew is Chelsea was teaching classes and I was helping her, and we were just having fun while we were doing it. So we hit silver, and then we got invited to go to an incentive trip in Puerto Vallarta. How many of you guys, didn't you guys go to that incentive trip? So there's an incentive trip in 2019 in Puerto Vallarta. And while we were there was amazing things that went on. I loved it. We got to see the owners. It was the first experience really with doTERRA in a very close setting. And while we were there, one night we got in the elevator to come down to dinner. And while we were coming down to dinner, the door of the elevator opened, and there was Emily Wright and her husband. And it was just, we just kind of looked at them. They kind of looked at us. I didn't really know who Emily was, guys. I didn't know who she was very much. I knew she was one of the owners. I knew she was the girl, but I didn't know what that meant. And my wife kind of hyperventilated a little bit. We got in the elevator, and then we rode it down, and we just started visiting with them. And it was like so natural and so calm. And I wanted to know a few things. I wanted to know what the owners were like. I wanted to know the integrity of a company. And so this is like so much the start of my story, because after we said hello and everyone kind of went their way, we went down the beach to go to dinner. We were talking to the hostess. We said we'd like a dinner for 2. And suddenly someone pulled our shoulders apart and stuck her little head in there. And Emily Wright said, can we make that a table for 4? And this was the day that changed my life and my wife's life, because that night we sat for about 3 hours with Emily and Corey Wright for dinner. And I was able to ask her questions, all kinds of questions. At the time I was teaching high school. I've been teaching high school for 16 years, and I wanted a change. And I hadn't really told anybody. I hadn't told anybody at all. My wife knew, but that was it. And Emily, in her way, just started asking questions, and I asked questions, and she'd ask questions, and I'd ask questions. And then she finally asked me, she said, what do you want to do? And I said, I just want to help people. That's what I want to do. I just want to help people. And she said, she grabbed my hand and she said, we need you. We need you in doTERRA, Steve. We need you. And everything just kind of lit up, just boom. And I knew what I was supposed to do. And that Monday, the next Monday, I went home and I put in my notice that I'd be retiring at the end of the school year. So from that moment, it changed everything. And I've gone, Emily, what do you mean? Like, what do you need me for? Like, doTERRA is a big company. It's huge. Like, and I'm a guy, I'm a dude. What do you need me for? It's full of women. You got lots of people that are there. What do you need me for? And so some things that some of you don't know about me is this. I've been married for 24 years to my high school sweetheart. We have 7 children, 1 daughter-in-law. I have an undergraduate degree in marriage and family therapy. And then I got my master's degree from Gonzaga University in leadership. And I wrote a master's thesis in learning behavior. In other words, how people best learn and what's the best way to be able to teach. I taught high school for 16 years. I'm a master teacher, and we hit diamond. Shortly after meeting Emily, I retired. When we retired, we were just barely getting, like, we were duct tape golds and silvers. But I trusted that we'd be able to move this business forward. And then we did some training with Elise Chedevi in January, and we hit diamond within 6 months. This right here, this part of my story is where I get to help you now. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, Emily talks, and the owners of doTERRA talked about tripling our impact by 2030. How many of you want to triple your impact? How many of you want to? I'm going to teach you something right now. Since we are on a webinar-based thing, and since I cannot see you, but you can see me, there's one important tool that we have to use. It's the hand raise function, and it's also the comment section. That comment section, that chat, needs to just go crazy with your fingers, okay? Because when we say things, then it helps with our learning. If we write things down, it's going to help with our learning. Everything is a part of, like, our learning situation. So other people can see, we can feel it. This is how energy is created in a webinar. So I love you guys. Look at what you're doing right now. How many of you want to triple your impact? Okay. How many of you would love to triple your finances? Raise your hand if that's something you want to do. Do you guys want to triple your finances? Okay. Look at the number of hands go up when I say, do you want to triple your finances? So at the time, we wanted to triple our finances as well. But to triple your impact would mean to triple your finances as well. I want to show you a few things. There's only 4 ways that you can triple your impact. Okay. There's only 4 ways. You can either triple your contacts or your leads. These are the amount of people that you talk to in a day. Okay. Or in a year, or in a month, or whatever it is. You can triple those. Does that sound like a lot of work? Yes. Does that sound like a lot of work? How many of you can literally triple the number of people you talk to? Okay. Some people will be like, I can't. Some people will say, but Steve, I'm like, I got kids. I have a full-time job. I'm doing this part-time. I'm like, I get all that. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in Canada, guys. Like, Glacier National Park in Montana is right out my window. I live in the middle of nowhere, but I had an internet signal, and I had some brains, and I knew some business, and I knew teaching, and I was like, we could do this. The other way that you could do it is to triple your enrollments. How many of you would like to teach a class and triple the number of enrollments that you have? How many of you like to triple those enrollments? Well, there is psychology and tips to do it. And the reason why it's not happening is some of you are doing it. How many of you guys be like, I've never done this before. I don't know how to teach. Like, I just got into this business because I love it. And but I don't know how to teach it. How many of you guys are that way? Okay, because you go, I don't know how to teach it. Like, I've never been taught how to teach it. So the other way we can do it is to triple our retention. We could triple our retention. So if you triple your enrollments, and then you triple your retention, and then you're going to triple your builders. Okay. So that's how it kind of looks. You go, if I triple my contracts, triple my enrollments, I'm going to triple my retention. I'm going to triple my builders. That is how you can triple your impact. Now, if people say, Steve, it's I have a really hard time just like with my contacts and my leads. That's because you're not saying the right words. You're not tripling, like you're not doing it right. You're not teaching well enough in advance. I'm not doing good in my classes. I don't have high enrollments. I'm going to show you some things today. Okay. How many of you guys are good for this? You guys ready? Okay. So here we go. So if we're going to triple our impact, we're going to begin, like we're going to start with tripling your enrollments by teaching better classes. And this is one class that you could teach that will triple your impact. And it's super simple. One of the things we have to remember, this is our big dilemma. We got to take the MetaPWR class and we got to translate that into enrollments. That's our job. If someone says to me, Steve, I am not in the business of selling, I'll say, not true, but you're in the business of enrolling. So in essence, that is selling. We're just going to change your mind a little bit. I forgot to tell you guys that when I retired from teaching, I wanted to be able to keep helping people. And so people asked me if I would life coach, and they said, are you qualified to life coach? And I was like, I'm overqualified, but I'd love to do it. So I am a high performance life coach. I work with like Major League Baseball players. I work with NCAA athletes. I work with like really high performing people. Like millionaires. I like to work with millionaires and people who are like really high energy, positive thinkers, right? Like that's who I take. I take people to that vibe. So we want to be able to get it to the enrollments part, right? Now, here is our problem. Problem number one is not knowing how to teach a class. Can I have an amen to that one? Problem number two is overcomplicating a class. Some of you really, do you remember my cake analogy from the Terra Talks at convention? Do you guys remember that one? Do you remember me throwing cake? Do you remember like people overcomplicate it? People be like, yeah, you are the cake guy. I never did throw it at anyone, although I hoped Justin Harrison was in the front row, but he wasn't. But we overcomplicate classes so much, okay? And if you overcomplicate things, people's little brains, they just kind of melt. And then you just run into problem number three is what teaching not equating to enrollments. That is the problem. Okay. So here's the big problem. So what we have to become is bridge builders, to take complex information, to make it into personal application simply and really clearly. So today's class, what we're going to do is we're going to take, when I came home from convention, I took doTERRA's handout that they had, their tear sheet. I looked at it and I thought, I want to make it simpler for me to be able to teach. I just want to make it simpler. It's just for me. I'm a simple brain. I like to be able to get things simple. And so I made a class that most of our team would know what that looked like, right? It was the MetaPWR class made easy. It's just like our essential oils made easy class. Really simple. Okay. We want to be able to work in threes. Your brain, when functioning in threes, here's your first tip. When it works in threes, people can remember threes. You'd be like, oh, I only have to remember three things. And when you can remember three things and you can write it down. Now, in teaching, when someone writes things down, they can retain it more. When they yell it out, it becomes even more. Now, I know you were on webinar format, so I'm going to say things and I'm going to say it right. And you guys are going to be like, right, you can say it. Now, you might sound like you have Tourette's. That's fine. You might be like, if you're in the middle of like a shopping center right now and doing it, whatever. People will be like, what is MetaPWR anyway? Okay, you can say that out loud when we teach. I'm going to show you what I do, and I'm going to show you some script parts that I put together for me in my notes. Now, I have the MetaPWR class made easy, printed out, and I like to write my notes all over it. Okay, that way I have prompts when I teach. Okay, so here, are you guys ready? It is the beginning. Are you ready? Can we have a drum roll? Everyone, put a drum roll in, put your hands in the air. Here it comes. Get your pencils ready. We are ready to do it. We have one person ready on the chat. That is it. Okay. One person on the chat. Friends, if I'm going to share with you this information, we got to like get some wild orange out. Like get something pumping through your, okay. Get some wild orange out. Get some adaptive. Get some like, you know, thinker on your brain. Here we go. Drum roll. Let's start. Ready, set, go. Tips and psychologies. You got to keep it simple. The more simple you make it, you need to make it simple. Tip number 2, people don't buy products. They buy better versions of themselves. These are 2 things I want you to remember. Keep it simple, and people don't buy products. They're going to buy a better version of themselves. So here we go. When I start teaching a class, I will say this. I believe that every person wants to change. They want to change something better about their life. And when they get the right tools, they make it happen. But I also believe in the power of personal choice. So here's one thing I'm going to ask of you today. If you hear something today that you feel can help you change, then do it. And if you find if you don't find anything, then don't do it. All right. But I'm going to ask you. So can I have a yes, I'm in? Okay. So if I say, hey, I'm in, like if I find something today that's going to help me, then I'm in. Can I have I'll do it. I'm in. Okay. So what I have people do is I say this at the beginning of class, and then I have them write this. So to begin with our class today, I'd like you to write in the top part of your page, I am here to change. Like, I'm here to change. And you can say that out loud if you want to. You can just repeat it. You can just be like, I'm here to change. All right. You can put it in like, I'm in. I'm here to change. All right. This is the very first way to start a class. Why? It's called getting ready. It's getting everything ready. It also, in this comment right here, it eliminates the need for you to convince anybody that they need to purchase anything from you if they don't want to. I'm not in the business of hard selling. Okay. But if people want to do it, they can do it. And if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. I am not in the business of hard selling anybody. But have you guys ever noticed this too? And here's also why I say it. And here's the psychology of it. Have you ever told someone, nah, you don't need this, it's not for you? And they're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean it's not for me? Of course it's for me. Why wouldn't it be for me? I was like, well, I don't know. Or have you ever told your children, like, don't do that, and then they purposely go do that? When you tell someone, like, if you hear something today that you feel changed, then do it. But if you don't, then don't do it. People are like, what are you talking about? Like, it really is a psychological thing. I encourage you to say it. So let's move on. On your handout in front of you, there are 6 areas of life that I would like you to rate yourself in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate the quality of your life in each of the following areas? Now, I want you to do it too. How would you rate the quality of your life in each of the following handouts? If you do not have this handout, I would encourage you to scroll to the very top of the chat. There you will find the link in the chat. You can download it. It's on the website, teachmetapower.com, and you can just print that out. If you don't have it, then why don't you just get a piece of paper out and just do it like that. You can see it on the screen. Okay. So don't rush this part with people. Give them time to answer. Don't skip over it at all. Okay. Do not skip over this part. This is called, this is the pain point. We have to allow people to have a pain point. So when they're going through this and they're looking at it and they're like, well, my energy it's like a 6, but my weight is like a 2. My mood is all over the place, but it's a 3. I'm a hot, crazy mess. My sleep, I don't sleep very well. I'm a 4. My clarity, I'm pretty clear, I think, most of the time, 7. And my stress levels, holy cow, they're really high, but I think for this, it's like a 2 high. So it'd be like an 8. I don't know. It's really high. Okay. And then you ask people, when you're done, can you just circle the ones that you'd like to work on? Well, obviously weight, stress, and mood, right? When you look at this, you could ask a follow-up question of this. What's it going to cost you if you don't fix those 3 areas of your life? What's it going to cost you? Allow them to really think. This is a really important part of the class. Don't rush through it. Okay. Ask people, look at them. So Joanna, you might say, this sounds salesy to you, then don't use it. But if you want to triple your impact and enrollments, then use it. I've done it for a long time and I know it works. And it's not salesy at all because I'm not telling them what to write in there. This is them. And when you step in the way of that, when you take that belief system and you step in the way of it, you're not going to enroll anybody in classes, or you're not going to enroll the number that you want to. I'm just talking truth. Okay. People will come and they'll say, Steve, I want to increase my enrollments. And then I give them an idea and they're like, no, that's throughout that. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. But these are just thoughts. You can take them. You can do whatever you want with them. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here's the next part. Okay. Let me just get this part out of here. Okay. The next part going. Okay, so today we're going to talk about metabolic health. But to start, I want you to help you understand it better. We're going to talk about 3 important things about metabolic health. As we talk about them, please write them in the boxes on the handout. As I teach you today, I may ask you to repeat the words that I say. It's not that I'm hard of hearing, it's just that it's going to help you learn a little bit better. So if you feel that, just yell it out. It's totally fine. All right, here we go. Step number 1. The first important thing about metabolic health is digestion and absorption. Did you know that only 6.8% of US adults has optimal cardiometabolic health? It's a big word, and it sounds crazy, but part of this is because of poor digestion and absorption. So if you look at that number, do you feel like you're part of the 6.8% that has really good metabolic health? And like, are you there, or are you like part of the other part? Like, where do you fit in on that? Okay, just look at that right there. So this is number 1. What's the first thing about metabolic health? It's digestion and absorption. The second thing about metabolic health is lifestyle pillars. Now, to help you understand this, if you can imagine a table with 1 leg, it would be not as stable as a table with 5 legs. I know you don't see very many tables with 5 legs, but it may help you understand why these 5 areas, why these 5 pillars are important to metabolic health. Does that make sense? Like, look at them: healthy eating, daily movement, stress management, healthy connections, and smart supplementation. Those are 5. Can you just think what would happen to your metabolic health if you could have those 5 lifestyle pillars in place? Wouldn't that be amazing? You guys feel free to answer in the chat if you would like. So this is the second important thing about metabolic health. Do you guys remember what the first one was? It was, say it out loud, digestion and absorption. What's the second one? It's lifestyle pillars. How many pillars? Hold up your hand. 5. Okay, 5 lifestyle pillars. We got this, don't we? Like digestion, absorption, lifestyle pillars. That's going to help metabolic health. All right, you guys ready to move on to the next one? Okay, here we go. The third cool thing or important thing about metabolic health is age. Can you just write that in your box? It's kind of like this. Have you ever seen someone who looked older than they really were? Or have you ever seen someone who looked younger than they really are? Have you guys ever seen that before? You're like, oh my goodness, what is your secret? This is because our metabolic age and our biological age are connected. Metabolically old equals biologically old. So I don't know about you guys, but I would rather be older and look younger. Are you guys with me? I'd rather be older, look younger. How many are with me on that one? Okay. So our 3 things that we need to understand about metabolic health is first, digestion and absorption. Say it with me out loud. The second one is our how many pillars? 5 pillars. And our third one is our age, which means we want to look younger than we actually are. Do you guys love this or what? Does this help you understand simply what metabolic health is? These are all measurable. Now, to help us understand how many of you would love to improve your metabolic health? Like kind of just change that. Would you? I would. I totally am in on this. So the next part of our class, I'll give you 3 ways to dramatically, I'm not talking about just kind of a little bit, like dramatically improve your metabolic health. Okay. The first way to improve your metabolic health is to curb cravings. Huh? Like, did you know, can you write that in your box right there? Did you know that by curbing cravings, you can inhibit fat cell growth? I don't know about y'all, but I love that idea. Like, we can inhibit fat cell growth. So doTERRA's metabolic blend supports those cravings. Okay, so look at this. They have 4 products. One is an essential oil. One is an oil in a beadlet, which is super convenient to carry in your pocket. It's like a metabolic punch to the face. There's gum that you can chew. So how many of you guys practice your metabolic health by chewing a lot? You know what I mean? You just chew gum. This one really does help with curbing cravings. And then the third one is a capsule that you can take to be able to curb cravings. Why is this important? Because how many of you guys have ever been trying to change your lifestyle and then the cravings kick in and you're like, oh my goodness. And then it really just adds up. If we could curb cravings, we can dramatically improve your metabolic health. Do you love it? I love that. Okay. Second way. So, I just put there. And then here's a part that I wrote at the end. These are simple yet effective ways to curb cravings. What do you think your life would be like if you could curb cravings? Goodbye mood swings. Goodbye mood swings if we could curb cravings. Now, the reason I share that is goodbye mood swings connects to here. Okay. That's why I did talk about fat cells, but only in the way of this. When I said, how many of you would love, it's been known to reduce your fat cells. Like how many would love that one? Remember, I just said that part. So yes, we are talking about those things, but we're connecting dots. We're connecting dots for people. Okay. So when you're looking at this, you'd be like, why did he do that? That's why I did it. Because it's the psychology of teaching a class. All right. Is that making sense to y'all? Okay. So next, the second dramatic way to improve your metabolic health is to balance your blood sugar. Okay. doTERRA's MetaPWR Assist decreases the glucose spikes. Okay. Post-meal glucose spikes. This means that you won't have as many peaks and valleys in your energy levels throughout the day. Like, can you just take your hand and like kind of draw your peaks and valleys of energy and spikes after you eat a meal? How many of you guys been like eating a meal and then also got really low energy because you're like, oh, now I feel so groggy and heavy? Have you ever had that? Well, who's up for more energy? So this one's super simple to be able to take. You take it like 30 minutes, 20 minutes before you have your largest meal, and it's up for more energy. So again, right here in this class, what I've done is I've connected the dots to energy. Okay. I've connected those dots. So who's up for more energy? I'm up for more energy. I love it. All right. Now, the third thing, the third way to dramatically improve your health, metabolic health, is collagen and NAD+. Now, I'm sure you've heard of collagen by now, but doTERRA's collagen is made up of 9 different marine collagens, perfect for absorption, and it includes NAD+, which is an enzyme that is central to metabolism. That is crazy. You can't find that anywhere. Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Raise your hand if you knew your skin was your largest organ. Well, collagen supports healthy aging, skin, hair, tissues. It's truly going to make you look better and feel better. Hey, do you see what I've done there? I've taken collagen and I've connected it to this one who just said, I wanted to look younger and feel better. I wanted also to improve all of these aspects in my life. And that is what the collagen and NADH does. But rather than you just tell them, you teach them why. Okay. And teach them simply. So the 3 things that we have to dramatically improve our metabolic health is, 1, you can write them in the, we can write it in the right now. What are the 3 things? Curb your cravings. Okay. What's the next one? Balance blood sugar. And the third one is collagen and NAD+. Like, that is cool. This is ways to improve your metabolic health, and it's really simple. Now, does this help you know what to do in the very first part of this class? Okay. Does this help you? Like, if you had this piece of paper in front of you and you hand it to someone, like, so I'll answer other questions about Zoom and online and things later on. Okay, we'll do a little question and answer later. But this is that part where you get really clear and you can teach it. Okay, so then you're going to have them turn the page. Okay, now in the beginning, this is what I say when they turn the page. In the beginning of our class today, I asked you to rate yourself, but now I'm going to ask you to dream just for a few minutes with me. If you could wave your magic wand, what would you want your health to look like in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years? Could you write a few of those things just on the page right here. Can you just write those in? What do you want your help to look like? Just write it in. What do you want it to look like? Who do you want it to be with? What does it look like with your family? Just write them in for a minute. Just dream with me. The reason why we want to be able to do this is people need to have hope. And it's not your hope, it's theirs. People don't care about your product only if it gives them a lifestyle that they want. The truth is ours is connected. It can do both. Okay. But even if you tell them that, they're not going to believe that. They have to dream and they have to know and feel that it's true. All right. So when we look at these things together and you're thinking about it yourself, allow people a chance. Don't jump in at this point. Let them write. Okay. And then I ask this question, and you can write it in the chat. Would anyone be willing to share their dreams with me? Would any of you be willing to share them in the chat of what you would like your help to look like in the next year, 2, 5, 20? What do you want it to be like? You want it to be the same, or do you want it to be better? The reason why you have people share is because here's where the dreams come out. Healthy, and Laura says, healthy and wealthy and wise. Okay. D says to wake up without aches or pains, high energy all day long, like pain-free, full of energy. Okay. Look at these dreams. You have them. You guys have them as well. Okay. We all have them. Now, at this point, people want to be able to know, okay, is this going to help? Now, you don't have enough people to be able to do testimonials. So right here's the point where I want you to share. After people share their dreams, now is a good time for you to share your own testimony about, like a testimonial about MetaPWR. Now, make it simple, make it powerful. And if you don't have one, share somebody else's. Okay. Share a really simple, good one. Okay. And you could say something like this, like, I've just been on MetaPWR for a month. I'm still learning. There's amazing things. Let me just share with you one of those. That's a way to do it. For me personally, I jumped on MetaPWR as soon as convention was over. I drove home from Utah, 12 hours to Canada. I unpacked, I packed, I flew to Orlando, Florida for a conference. I was on that plane. I came home. I was home for a day. I had to go north to Edmonton, 6 hours, come back, and then I drove back to Utah and back. So in 15 days, I slept in my bed twice and I lost 8 pounds. And the only thing I changed was MetaPWR. That's the only thing I changed. My energy went up, my sleep got better, and I lost weight. What the? How does that happen? That's the only thing I changed. That's the only variable in anything. Everything else stayed the same. So I share my testimonial at this point so that other people go, you got to share what's possible with people. Okay. This is the point. If you skip this part, okay. Can I just share with you, like, this isn't even in my handout. I'm just going to share with you this because it's really important. Can I just say, like, the number one thing, the number one thing when you teach is connection over content. Let me just repeat that. When you teach anything, the number one thing is connection over content. Like, I want to connect with you. I want you to feel it. Like, do you feel it from me? Like, do you recognize that I love you? Like, do you feel like I'm passionate about this? But if you say this, like, oh, thanks for sharing, Betty, but we got to move on. They'll be like, oh, what's the point of that? No, it's connection. It's all those good things. Like, I see your names. I see the chat. It's the way that I connect with you. So don't jump so quickly. Okay. But you can make it. I just want to share that with you. It just kind of came to me. I want to be able to share that. Okay. So the next part we share is this. All right. So I just say, hey, do you remember in the beginning, I mentioned that if you find something today that works for you, then do it. I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can get these tools to improve your metabolic health. Okay. So I use the script from the daily mentor calls. It's call number 22, back to basics. Page number 21. It's the scripts on 3 ways to purchase. Elise Shedevy has them. Maybe you guys know that. Do you guys know them? If you don't know them, go to daily mentor calls, log in, find it. And if you don't, then you're going to be fine. So it works just like this. Like, so do you remember in the beginning, I mentioned to you that if you find something today that works for you, then do it. And I'm going to give you 3 ways that can help and get the tools to improve your metabolic health. So the first way that you can do it is retail. That's the most expensive way that you can buy it. The only time that you would ever do that is at a chiropractor's office and or a professional setting. It's the most expensive way to purchase any of these products. The second way that you can do it is wholesale. And it's kind of like having a Costco membership where you can get the best products at the best prices. With doTERRA, you can get a membership that will reduce your cost and to wholesale prices. That's pretty cool. And then you can purchase those throughout the whole year at wholesale prices. The third way, and the only way that I buy my essential oils and other products, is below wholesale. And I'm going to explain that to you in just a second. I find that when we come to these meetings, I find 3 kinds of people that come. There's 3 kinds of people that come. The first kind of person is looking to live a natural lifestyle, and they love natural lifestyle. They want to improve their health, and they just love that community. And the second kind of person is like, oh my gosh, I love this, and I love everything about this. I want to share with my brother, my uncle, my cousin, like everyone needs to know about this. And they naturally share what they love. doTERRA rewards this kind of person by giving them free products, which is essentially free healthcare. And there are thousands, millions of people worldwide who are experiencing free natural healthcare. The third type of person that comes to our classes says, oh my goodness, I could totally do that. I love what they're doing. I want to be a part of that. Well, there is a way that doTERRA allows you to do what I'm doing, and that is to earn an income and make an impact on other people's lives. So if you are the second or third type of person today in the class, would you talk to me after, and I'll give you all the information really simply on how you can just be a part of that. Okay. Now, does that sound pushy? To me, it doesn't sound pushy. It is the way that we find builders, and it is the way that we like, does that sound salesy? Like right here, did I just sound salesy? Because I'm not salesy. I'm just like giving you information. I'm giving you, and if you want it, you take it. And if you don't want it, it's not for you. But if that energy comes through that you're like if that energy comes through that you're like dying to make this, then don't. Like, it's just back off that a minute. Okay. Now, the last part of the class looks like this. No, so as you've heard ways to improve all these areas that you circled at the beginning of class, I want to share with you how simple it can be for you. So on this daily routine, it would look something like this. Do you remember I shared with you like to curb cravings? Well, the very first step that I do every day is that if I have a craving, then I can use either the essential oil, the beadlets, the gum, or the capsule, and that can help me curb cravings throughout the day. This is like my emergency pack, and I can just use them throughout the day to curb cravings. It helps a ton. The second thing that I do is I take the Metabolic Assist, which is just a capsule, and I take it a half hour before I eat, or if you don't remember, take it when you eat. And if you don't remember then take it after you eat. Just do the best you can do. That's going to reduce those like spikes that we were talking about. And then the third way that you help, the step number 3, is you just make up 1 packet of collagen and NAD plus, and you put that in you stir that thing up and you just drink it. It's a really good taste. And that's going to help, remember, with like cells and with your hair and your skin, your largest organ. It's going to help you look younger and feel good. And it's just, does that seem simple enough that you could do that? Now, we want to paint simplicity because it is simple. The other thing too is if it's not simple and too complex, people are out at this point. Now, the last thing we do is say, now, last thing that you can do is to be able to get your MetaPWR system. It's super easy for you to get, and you can save some money in the process. So explain the kit and how it can change their life and their dreams. Notice I'm saying this. Explain the kit and how it can change their life and their dreams that they just shared with you right here. Okay. You don't say this like, man, this MetaPWR system kit is so good. Like, you can save $58 and then you're going to save this and then you're going to save this. No, like, you're going to say this. So here's the MetaPWR system. And what I love about the MetaPWR system is it truly can help you so that you can be 75 and climb waterfalls. You can reduce the amount of pain in your knees and joints and play with your kids. It can help you, Sally, with your sleep. and those mood swings that we've been talking about. Isn't that amazing? This is so like, this has so many things that can help with. Now, with this system, it includes all of those simple things that we talked about. It's $179 wholesale, and it's going to get you a membership for the rest of the year so that you can keep supporting yourself with tools. And then you're going to get free shipping. And not only that, is I'm going to offer you and tell you that I don't want to leave you alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in our 8-week of continuing education classes. It's totally free. You can come to our 8 weeks of continuing ed, and our 8 weeks of continuing ed happens Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And you can come to those, and we're going to teach you more how to do that. And then the second thing I'm going to offer you is I'm going to give you a free wellness consult in 10 days. I'm going to talk to you. We can either do it on Zoom or FaceTime, or I can come to your house. And I'm just going to tell you how to remind you how to use all these things. And I really want to support you in this. So it's a free wellness consult. It's just going to help bless your life. How do you feel about that? Are you open to getting started with this kit? That, my friends, is the class. How does it feel? Does it feel good? Okay. Does it seem easy? Does it seem something that you could do and teach in front of other people and go, oh my goodness, yes. Okay, this isn't throwing cake at people. This is just really the best way to be able to do a class that I found. And what do you think? So I taught this class on Saturday. I taught it in 30 minutes. It wasn't forced. It wasn't hurried. It wasn't overloaded. You could teach it at a picnic table. You could teach it at someone's table. You can just hand them a thing and teach them really quickly. It's really simple for people to be able to do. Now, the thing that I really want to make clear is, as you teach this class, it's going to help with enrollments. Okay, so that's the part. Remember, we talk about tripling our impact and all the things that you guys wanted. So that's really important. That for us to be able to do that, because this is that part. And I wanted to share this. Okay, this is the part. Like, if you were to wave your magic wand, you as a wellness advocate, someone in doTERRA, what would you want your business to look like in the next year, 2 years, 5 years? What do you wave your magic wand? Dream with me for just a second. What do you want? Okay. Some are saying like founder. How many of you'd love to be a founder? Like financial freedom. Okay. Pay for kids. Some of you guys, I just like to pay for my kids' college. I'd love to be a founder. Why would you like to be a founder? Can I ask that additional question? Can I ask that deeper question? Why do you want to hit those ranks? Like, what do you want? What do you want it to look like in your life? Okay, just because to become a founder, what does that mean? See, remember when I was sitting across from Emily Wright, the money wasn't the thing for me. It was what I could do with the money. Like, I could dig in the dirt with people, and I could help build things with doTERRA. I could change people's lives. I could change their health. That is why I chose doTERRA, not because only the money. Dream. Okay, because it matters for you how you approach this too. Now, the things that we were doing in doTERRA 3 years ago will not work the same way today. We've just gone through major things. You cannot do the same things you did 3 years ago and expect for them to work. You just can't. Like, I'll give you some examples. Like, like the telephone companies, if they were paying attention, should have become cell phone companies. The train, like the owners of the trains should have then owned the cars, and then they should have owned the planes, and then they should have owned the satellites and the spaceships, because they forgot that they were in the transportation industry. Okay. And for us, when we look at things and we go, how are things changing so quickly? One of the ways, these are principles that if you teach them clearly, human behavior and psychology, you can always help people change in that way. Okay. So there's only really 4 ways to triple your impact. I'll just start, like, And stay with me because I have something really cool I know you'll love as much as you love this class. Like if you triple your contacts, you'll triple your impact. If you triple your enrollments, which I just taught you how to do one piece of that puzzle. Like today is just one piece of that puzzle. And it's so fun. Like triple your retention. Oh man, we could triple retention. Like if we taught it right in continuing education in these classes, people you'll retain people. And then you could triple your builders. Okay. So how many of you guys feel now like you're better off to be a power teacher? And you can triple your impact. How many of you guys feel that? Hands in the air. You guys feel that? Good. Good. And stay with me because I'm going to answer questions here in just a little bit in the end. Okay. So I'm going to answer any of the questions. All right. So, but how many of you guys feel like, man, I wish I could do more? How many of you guys really wish that? You'd be like, I wish I knew more. Like, give me just a little bit more. Because really, I've been here now for 48 minutes. Okay. And I remember, I want to be able to share it with people and help people. That's my whole intention. So has this hour been beneficial to you? And do you feel that this has given you tools to help your business? Okay. If you came and you were benefited by it and you felt good, then I feel like that was so good for me to do that. Okay. So to help you more, okay, to help you more, I want to be able to help you. I have lots more ways to help you become a power teacher. I love doTERRA. I love doTERRA Wellness Advocates. I love being a part of it. And this is the part that I have to offer. This is the part that Emily reached across the table and gave me her hand and said, we need you. And I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I found it. And so here's what I've done. I put together a 4-week power teaching series. Okay. It's a 4-week power teaching series. This power teaching series will start next Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain, same time like as today, but a day earlier. It's 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it's there to teach you to triple your impact. Because we've only scratched the surface in one area, but man, I could literally go for hours and hours and hours. Does that sound like something you guys would be like, yes, I totally would love it? Okay. Now, if you love it and you feel like, okay, I want to be able to do it, then here's what you're going to learn. Okay. You're going to learn exclusive tips in psychology to teaching classes and to tripling your impact. Okay. You're going to receive new content that I make first. So I make content all the time. I love it. I keep doing it. It's easy. I love it. I just keep doing things. But not only that, you're going to be more confident as a teacher. You're going to get more enrollments. You're going to get more people to be able to come to your classes, and you're going to triple your teaching impact. How does that sound? Because that's what we really want to accomplish. So if I was to personally coach people, and I'm going to be totally transparent. Can I just be totally transparent with you guys for a minute? Like totally transparent? Like I'm not gonna lie. And again, I'll tell you the same thing I say at the beginning of a class. If you find something that's of value and it's important to you and you want it, then totally do it. And if it's not, then you can just take this part and just step it aside. I am totally fine with that. I'm not insulted or worried about that. But if you were to come to me personally and say, Steve, can you personally life coach me as a high performance coach? I charge $3,500 to $5,000 for you and me to meet for 8 to 12 weeks. That's what I charge. Okay. I have clients in the waiting room waiting, and we have lots of results. That's good, isn't it? Like to get results. So people are like, yeah, but how many of you guys be like, I don't have that? So I recognize it too, because I didn't at one point and I wanted to make it totally accessible. So here's what it is. It's $97. You get me for 4 weeks for an hour, and however long I go after that, in answering questions, I will give it to you for $97 for the 4 weeks. So it's less than $25. It's less than eating out for lunch. It's a month each week. There's the QR code right there. And I want to be able to provide it for doTERRA because I am not in the business. I'm in the business of helping people. That's what I want to be able to do. So here is that. How many of you would like here's the link right here's a bigger QR code right here. Again, if it resonates with you, then do it. If it doesn't resonate with you and you feel like you already have the tools now, then I can't wait to see. This is doTERRA specific. Okay, so Kristen, this is doTERRA specific. I have now, and oh, I got to tell you guys something super cool that no one knew last night. Can I give you guys like an inside scoop on something? Like, this is super cool. You guys, do you want to know? Because this one is like, I didn't even get to the people. Okay, fine, I'll come on with that. Okay, I am currently working with Aroma Tools to put out digital material to be able to help all of doTERRA with this. Like, I'm teaming up with Aroma Tools. They said, you can tell anybody and the material will come out and you guys are going to get like front row seats to it. Like, that is cool to be able to work with Aroma Tools and to be able to do that. Like, there's so many cool things that are coming with this. So that's really exciting too. And I'm really happy to be a part of it because this is doTERRA specific. Now, these are principles, not programs. Can we be clear on that one? This is about principle, not programs. Now, principles can last a lifetime. Programs are like, they can end. So here's what's going to happen in this program. It's going to be on a private website on the teachmetapower.com site. You will have all of the recordings there. They will stay there. You can go back and you can watch them. You will have first access to any digital material that I make to help you a better teacher. It's just going to be so good for you, and you're going to meet with me. Now, the best part comes in question and answer, which is going to come here in just a few minutes. But does anyone here want the link instead of the QR code? Does anyone here want the link? Because I can find the link. It'll just take me 2 seconds to find the link. I'm just going to get you the link, and then you can copy that link and then do that. Okay? Because some of you guys are like, right here. Let me just get that. Oh, it didn't do it. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get you the link and everyone can have this. Okay. So here's the link right here. There is a recording from yesterday that was mailed out to the participants from yesterday. It is the same recording that you would get today, other than the Aroma Tools announcement and other things, just a little bit different, right? And then, Peggy, you're in? I can't wait. We spend next week. Like, there's presidential diamonds who have enrolled in this. Honestly, like a really good friend of mine, she was like, I'm in. I was like, are you for real? She's like, I love it. I can't wait. So that makes me really excited. Leslie, you signed up last night. I'm so excited. So share this with your teams, share this with people. It really will help. Okay. So I'm so grateful for you. I want to just kind of answer question and answers to see if anyone has any questions. Yes, this is recorded. Yes, my teaching series will be recorded. And I will be able to just share those things with you. I want you to be able to succeed. Like, that's my whole intention. I want you guys to succeed. Do you guys have any other questions? Oh, do you need it? It's not staying in the chat. Hold on. It's coming right now. Hold on. Here comes the link. Oh, so that's a really good question, Kristen. Here's why I keep it really simple, like science, okay? I then take people to the continuing education class, and then I do a deep dive in continuing education with more of the science. Okay, so we do it in continuing education. It's not that they won't get science, because I think science is really important, and I think, like, I never teach everything that I totally know. Okay, so when you are looking at this, you want to be able to just give them enough that they're part of it, and then, okay, so that's that. So I've never taught on Zoom. How can I learn that? So Zoom is really, you can go on YouTube, you can go on other platforms and learn how to use Zoom to be able to help your business. We have used Zoom, and we have used online, Instagram and Facebook to grow all of our business. We have done very little face-to-face classes. That was more in the beginning. And then we've done it online on Zoom. You can reach anywhere in the world with Zoom. So when I personally coach people and I do life coaching with people, I have people right now in like Armenia. I have people in like, I have people all over the world that I'm teaching, and I do it from the comfort of my own office. Okay. And so I do that. So you can learn how to do it, and you do it a very similar way. Okay. So when do you introduce LLV and the important relationship in MetaPWR? We do that at a wellness consult. Okay. So we introduce LLV in the wellness consult. Okay. Too much information, their little brains are going to explode, because if you get too much information, then people will check out, and then it's done. You've lost them, and they could find simpler things other places. So don't share LLV, right? Can I have an amen to that one? Like, please don't put away that one. That's the one that's going to really help them. So you want to be able to do that. So do that in the wellness consult, and they'll hear about it in continuing education. Okay. So if you enroll in the 4-week series, yes, you're going to get a new webinar Zoom link. I will email that to you. I've got everyone collected. There's a lot of people actually that have enrolled. And so I have a link. I'm going to be able to send it. I wanted to be able to wait till tonight. So I want to be able to do that later. So just give it a day or two, and then it'll get to you, I promise. So again, if you share that with your teams, then they will also be able to do it with you. And that's kind of fun. Is there any other questions? Okay. So the deadline to enroll would probably be Monday afternoon at the latest. Angelique, that's an important question. Okay. Because I'm going to be sending out emails, and yes. So Peggy, I will try to send you out. I will email you all the link to this recording tonight. And I will send that to you so you can send it with your teams. Here's the challenge though. You got to be able to, like, webinar recordings are not as recorded as they are live. So, I hope it's valuable. Like, I really hope that this has been, I hope this has been really valuable for you, that you feel like, yeah, we've learned. Okay. So here's the thing. Jamie asked a really good question. How do you sell $179 to people on a budget? You don't. Because have you ever noticed this? If people want it, it doesn't matter what it costs, they will get it. So I don't sell them at all. And I told you how I did that in the very beginning, where I'm like, hey, if there's something tonight that really resonates with you and you feel like it's important, then do it. And if you don't, then don't. And I do say this, like, when I'm meeting with clients and I'm doing like high ticket sales for life coaching, like, I'm doing high ticket sales. And I'm asking people to spend $5,000. Okay. I'm not asking them to spend $179. I'm asking them to spend $5,000 on me. And if they feel it's important, they will pull it out and they will pay for it. But the same people who say it's too expensive are the same people that just got back from Hawaii on a trip. Okay. These are the same people that have like the $250,000 boat parked in their park. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to allow people to do it. You teach them to do this. So can I help you reach presidential? Presidential Diamond is based upon principles. Okay. Success leaves clues. Okay. Success leaves clues. My wife and I reached really high ranks by mirroring people who were successful. Okay, so you can be a presidential diamond, totally. You're just going to have to, do it. Now, how do I also teach people how to be able to do this on a tight budget? I teach them how to share it with other people first. So I say like this, hey, Margaret, I totally understand. Can I show you a way to be able to make $179 so that you can pay for this? And she goes, yes, tell me. Okay, can you do a class next week? Can you do a class next week? And I want you to invite 6 people to that class. I'm going to teach this class that I taught tonight. And when 4 of your friends enroll, or 5 of your friends enroll, because we're going to teach it really good, we're going to take that, you're going to enroll them and get paid back. Isn't that crazy? Like, you're going to get paid. I'm going to teach you how to be able to do that. And she goes, oh, yeah, I can do that. Be like, that way, you could sell pop bottles, you could do, some things on Facebook Marketplace, but that would be a good way to be able to do that. And I'm happy to work with you on that. And they go, oh, How'd that work? Okay. Yes, encourage people to print out this ahead of time. So if you're doing an online class, and give them the link to print this out. Save that link, print it out. It's going to be on the website, so people can download it. You guys now have access to it. Okay. So do you enroll her at the class before her, or do you enroll the friends? No, I enroll her after the class when her friends have enrolled. I don't enroll her, okay, until after she has enough people to enroll behind her. Okay. So that's one way that you're able to do it. Okay. And it does work. I mean, I have seen it done. Okay. So, does that help you guys? Does that give you guys some strategies and some things? Any other thing? So you could do it a couple ways. You could pay her, and then she could get her products, and then the fast start bonuses that come from doTERRA to you. If she doesn't want to be a wellness advocate, you can use that money and get paid back. Do you know what I mean? You can do it that way with her, and then it helps her, it helps you, and it just helps everyone. But she's going to see that and go, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. I totally did that. You empower, guys. This is about empowerment. We want to empower people. We want to strengthen them. We want to encourage them. That's what we want to be able to do, right? Empower people. Great questions. Okay. Is there any other questions? Okay. Are you guys ready to do it? Are you guys ready to go get your classes going now this week? You ready? You guys going to do it? Okay. That's what I want to hear.